The prince's queen offered me to her daughter and said take care of. The city of Lithuria glowed under the twin suns, its glass towers reflecting streaks of gold and crimson light across the bustling streets. Airships floated between the towers, carrying merchants, diplomats, and travelers from across the galaxy. For most inhabitants, the day was ordinary, filled with trade deals, school lessons, and political debates. But for one human, this day would mark the beginning of a life-altering adventure. Jard Kale, a human engineer and diplomat, walked briskly through the crowded market district. Despite being far from Earth, he still preferred walking to hovering cars. It gave him a sense of connection with the planet. His sharp eyes caught every detail: the pattern of alien fabrics, the colors of exotic fruits, and the tiny mechanical gadgets children played with. Even in the middle of a bustling alien city, humans could notice things that others overlooked. Jard had spent the past 6 months in Lithuria as part of Earth's interstellar envoy. Humans were newcomers here, and not everyone was impressed by Earth's technology. But Jard had proven himself capable of solving problems where others failed. He had designed energy converters for alien ships, repaired failing navigation arrays, and mediated tense disputes between alien merchants. He had a reputation for quick thinking and adaptability, traits that some called uniquely human. He was heading to the Lithurian embassy when an unusual message arrived on his personal communicator. It wasn't the usual diplomatic request. The message was sealed with a royal crest, a golden phoenix encircled by silver rings, and it read simply, "You are requested at the royal palace. Immediate attendance required. Signed, Queen Seraphine." Jard frowned. Queen Seraphine was not someone who summoned visitors lightly. The queen was known across the galaxy as a shrewd diplomat and a brilliant strategist. Her people revered her for wisdom and fairness, but many feared her intellect. A personal summons from her meant that something important, possibly dangerous, was at hand. Without hesitation, he activated his hoverboard and shot across the streets, weaving past airships and startled pedestrians. His heart beat faster, not from fear, but from the thrill of the unknown. Humans thrived on challenges, Jard reminded himself. Every time he faced the unexpected, his mind sharpened and his skills grew. The royal palace was perched on the highest peak of Lithuria's capital city, a majestic structure of white stone and crystalline glass that shimmered under the twin suns. Guards in polished armor lined the steps, and drones hovered silently above the entrance. Jard was led through vast corridors, where statues of past rulers and holographic banners celebrated Lithuria's history. Finally, he arrived at the throne room. It was enormous, with ceilings that reached high into the sky and windows that offered a view of the entire city below. At the center sat Queen Seraphine, her presence commanding yet calm. Her long silver hair framed a face both regal and kind, and her violet eyes seemed to look straight into Jard's soul. Beside her stood Princess Alara, young but poised, radiating the quiet confidence of royalty. "Jard Kale," the queen said, her voice calm but firm. "I have been observing your work. Humanity has impressed us with ingenuity and resilience. You are unlike any other species we have encountered." Jard bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty, it is my honor to serve in any way I can." The queen smiled faintly. "You have already done much, but now I ask you for something more delicate." She gestured toward Princess Alara. "My daughter will accompany you on a mission across several star systems. I entrust her care and guidance to you." Jard's mind raced. He had expected diplomatic challenges or technical assignments, but never this. To be responsible for a royal princess was an entirely different matter. He quickly reminded himself that he could handle the responsibility. Humans had a unique ability to adapt, to learn quickly, and to think in ways others did not. "Your Majesty," he said carefully, "I will take care of Princess Alara and ensure her safety throughout the mission." The queen nodded. "I know you will." Humanity has shown courage and wisdom, qualities that are rare in the galaxy. Remember, this mission is not just about travel, it is about building trust between worlds. The choices you make may affect the future of Lithuria and Earth alike. Jard felt a mix of excitement and pressure. The mission was clearly of immense importance. He glanced at Princess Alara, who regarded him with a calm, assessing gaze. Unlike many humans, she did not speak immediately. Instead, she observed him, her eyes studying his posture, his reactions, and perhaps even his character. "Are you prepared for this journey?" she asked finally, her voice steady but curious. I am, Jard replied, and I believe we will learn much from each other along the way. The Queen's expression softened, but her eyes remained serious. Good. You depart at first light. The starship has already been prepared. Remember, the galaxy is vast, and not all who seem friendly truly are. Trust will be tested, and your humanity may be the greatest advantage you possess. With that, the meeting concluded. Jard bowed again and left the throne room, his mind a whirlwind of thoughts. He had been entrusted with a princess and a mission that could define humanity's role in the galaxy. It was an immense responsibility, but also an opportunity that few humans had ever experienced. That night, Jard walked through the palace gardens, where alien flora glowed softly under the twin moons. He marveled at the beauty of the plants, the precision of their design, and the subtle ways the garden was tended by robotic caretakers. He thought about Earth, about his family and friends, and about the vastness of the galaxy waiting beyond Lithuria. Princess Alara joined him quietly. You seem thoughtful, she said. I am, Jard admitted. There is much at stake, but I am also excited. I've faced challenges before, but this is different. The mission, the journey, the people we will meet, it will change both our worlds. Alara nodded. I have lived my life within the walls of this palace. I know the galaxy only from books and lessons. Perhaps this journey will teach me more than I could ever learn here. They walked together, sharing stories of their respective worlds. Jard spoke of Earth's struggles, its creativity, and its resilience. Alara shared tales of Lithuria's history, the challenges of diplomacy, and the wisdom of her mother, Queen Seraphine. Though their worlds were different, they found common ground in curiosity, courage, and the desire to make a difference. The next morning, the starship awaited them at the palace's landing platform. Its hull gleamed under the rising suns, sleek and powerful, designed to traverse systems that many civilizations considered unreachable. Jard and Alara boarded, greeted by the ship's crew, a mix of humans and Lithurians, all trained for long interstellar voyages. As the engines roared to life and the ship lifted from the palace platform, Jard gazed out at the city below. He felt a surge of pride and determination. Humanity was small but capable, and in this vast galaxy their uniqueness could become their greatest strength. Alara stood beside him, her expression both nervous and eager. Do you think we're ready for this? She asked. We'll make our own way, Jard replied with a confident smile. Humans have a habit of finding solutions when no one else can, and I think we'll learn a lot from each other too. The starship soared into the sky, leaving Lithuria behind. Ahead lay unknown worlds, political intrigue, alien civilizations, and challenges that would test their skills, courage, and loyalty. But Jard felt ready. He knew that humans had a way of rising to any occasion, no matter how daunting. And so began the journey that would take them far from home, into the heart of the galaxy, where every decision could change the course of history. For Jard Kale, the unexpected summons had marked the beginning of an adventure that would test not only his abilities, but the very essence of humanity itself. In the distance, the twin suns of Lithuria shone brightly, as if blessing the journey of a human and a princess who were about to face the universe together. The starship Urandar's Pride glided silently through the violet clouds of Lithuria's upper atmosphere. Its hull reflected the soft morning light of the twin suns as the engines hummed with a controlled power that only the most advanced Lithurian technology could produce. Jard Kale stood on the observation deck, arms crossed, eyes scanning the distant horizon. Beyond the planet's atmosphere lay the stars, and with them, the mission that could shape the future of humanity and the Urandari dominion. Princess Alara joined him, her long silver hair moving slightly in the artificial breeze of the observation deck. She had adapted quickly to the starship's environment, and though she remained cautious, her curiosity was evident. Do you think the alien leaders will trust us? She asked, her voice calm but tinged with concern. Jard turned to her, giving a reassuring smile. They'll trust us if we show them humans can think differently, act quickly, and stay loyal. That's what we do best. Alara nodded slowly, her violet eyes thoughtful. Lithurians respect strategy and patience. I wonder if humans are patient enough for the galaxy. Jard chuckled. Maybe not, but we have something better, adaptability. We make mistakes, yes, but we fix them faster than most species. And sometimes that's enough to survive. Their conversation was interrupted by the ship's communications officer, a tall Lithurian with translucent skin that shimmered faintly. "Captain Kale," the officer said, bowing slightly, "we are receiving an incoming transmission from the neutral system of Vierla. The leaders request a diplomatic escort. They warn of potential attacks by pirate factions in the outer asteroid belt." Jard's eyes narrowed. "Pirates, huh? It seems we're already being tested." Alara stepped closer, curious. "Pirates, are they dangerous?" "Very," Jard replied. "But this is also an opportunity. If we can handle a threat like this without violence, it will show the galaxy that humans and Lithurians can solve problems differently." The ship altered its course, heading toward Vierla. As they approached the system, the crew became tense. Radar screens displayed countless objects floating in space, some asteroids, some suspicious ships moving too strategically to be coincidental. Jard moved to the control station, reviewing the readings. "These aren't ordinary pirates. They're organized. They might even be mercenaries hired by someone who doesn't want us to succeed." Alara watched him carefully. "And what will we do?" Jard's mind raced. "We'll negotiate first. Violence only escalates situations, but if we can demonstrate ingenuity and fairness, we might turn them into allies, or at least neutralize the threat without bloodshed." The first contact came sooner than expected. A small fleet of sleek black ships emerged from the asteroid field, surrounding the Urandar's Pride. Their engines were silent, but their presence was threatening. "Open a channel," Jard ordered. A holographic figure appeared, humanoid but with features alien to human eyes. Elongated fingers, eyes that glowed faintly, and markings across their face that seemed ceremonial. "I am Commander Rilther of the Star Serpents," the alien said, voice sharp and authoritative. "Your presence in this sector is unwelcome. Leave immediately or face consequences." Jard studied the commander carefully. "We mean no harm," he replied calmly. "We are diplomats from Lithuria and Earth traveling on a mission of peace. We seek only safe passage and dialogue with the leaders of Vierla." Rilther's glowing eyes narrowed. "Many claim peace. Few prove it. Why should I allow humans to pass unchallenged?" Jard smiled slightly. "Because humans think differently, we see patterns others miss. We find solutions where others fail. If you give us a chance, we can avoid conflict and perhaps even help you in ways you haven't considered." Alara watched in awe as Jard negotiated. His words were careful, but his confidence and understanding of logic impressed even her. The commander tilted his head, studying him closely. "Very well," Rilther said finally. "I will grant you passage, but know this, any deception and your lives will be forfeit." The black ship slowly retreated into the asteroid field, leaving the Urandar's Pride free to continue its journey. Alara let out a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. "That was impressive," Jard shrugged modestly. "We just stayed calm and showed them we can think in ways they don't expect. Humans have a habit of turning impossible situations into opportunities." The rest of the journey to Vierla was tense but uneventful. Jard spent the time teaching Alara how to analyze situations quickly, how to assess threats without panic, and how to find solutions in moments of uncertainty. She absorbed everything, realizing that humans' greatest strength was not raw power, but creativity and adaptability. When they entered Vierla's orbit, they were greeted by a spectacular sight. The planet's surface was covered in floating cities, connected by shimmering energy bridges. Its leaders arrived on a delegation starship, and Jard's diplomatic skills were put to the test immediately. The Vierlan Chancellor, a tall figure with crystalline skin, addressed them. "We have heard much about your species, humans. Many are curious, some skeptical. Prove to us that your intentions are honorable." Jard stepped forward. "We come to build trust, not to conquer. We seek alliances, not dominance. If we work together, both our worlds can benefit." Alara added, her voice confident. "We also seek knowledge. Your insights may help us avoid mistakes and find solutions that benefit all species." The Chancellor studied them carefully. "We shall see, but know this, words alone will not convince us. Actions will." And actions were required sooner than expected. During their diplomatic visit, a rogue asteroid, deliberately redirected by unknown forces, barreled toward one of the floating cities. Chaos erupted as alarms blared and citizens scrambled. Jard acted immediately. Using his engineering expertise, he coordinated the deployment of energy shields and guidance systems to divert the asteroid. He worked alongside Vierlan engineers, translating human problem-solving methods into practical action. Alara observed, amazed. Jard's calm under pressure, combined with his quick thinking, saved countless lives. For the first time, she realized that humans' ingenuity was not theoretical. It was a tangible force capable of changing the course of events. After the crisis passed, the Chancellor approached Jard and Alara. "Your species is remarkable. Few would have solved this problem so efficiently. Perhaps there is hope for collaboration after all." Jard nodded. "That is all we ask, a chance to work together and learn from one another." As they prepared to depart Vierla, Jard reflected on the lessons of the mission so far. The galaxy was full of danger, but also full of opportunity. Humans had a unique ability to adapt, to think differently, and to solve problems in ways others could not imagine. And as long as they remained courageous and resourceful, they could survive and thrive in even the most challenging situations. Alara, standing beside him, smiled faintly. "I see now why my mother entrusted me to you." "Humans are unpredictable, yet reliable in ways I never imagined," Jard chuckled. "Unpredictable, yes. Reliable when it matters most. That's humanity." The Urandar's pride left Vierla behind, heading into deeper space. Beyond the planet's orbit lay uncharted regions, alien species, and challenges that would test every skill Jard and Alara possessed. As stars streaked past the observation deck, Jard felt a familiar surge of excitement. The mission was only beginning, and the galaxy was vast. But with courage, intelligence, and the human ability to adapt, he knew they could face anything. Alara, her eyes fixed on the distant stars, spoke softly. "Do you think the galaxy is ready for humans?" Jard smiled, a spark of confidence in his gaze. "It doesn't matter if the galaxy is ready. Humans make their own way, and when they do, everyone else notices." The stars passed by, a reminder that their journey had only begun. Danger, intrigue, and discovery awaited, but Jard felt certain of one thing: humanity's courage and ingenuity would shine, even among the stars. And so, the human and the princess sailed further into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges the galaxy could throw at them. Every new world was a test, every decision a chance to prove that humans were more than just a newcomer species. They were a force to be reckoned with. The starship Urandar's pride sailed silently through the void, leaving Vierla behind. Stars streaked past like silver threads in the black velvet of space, but Jard Kale's mind was far from idle. Every jump through hyperspace brought new questions, new calculations, and new strategies. Humanity had survived on ingenuity, but the galaxy offered challenges no species could predict. Princess Alara stood beside him on the observation deck, her gaze fixed on distant stars. She had been quiet since leaving Vierla, reflecting on what she had seen. Jard noticed her thoughtful expression. Humans had a way of learning from observation, but so did she. Lithurians were patient and analytical, and she had already begun to adopt some of his methods, subtly blending human adaptability with Lithurian strategy. "Captain Kale," she said at last, breaking the silence, "do you think the alien factions we are approaching will accept us?" Jard leaned on the railing, eyes scanning the navigation screens. "Some will, some won't, but humans have a habit of turning enemies into allies. Sometimes it's strategy, sometimes it's understanding their needs. Either way, we have to try." Their next destination was the system of Terrell, a cluster of planets rich in minerals and trade opportunities. Several alien factions had stakes there, each suspicious of outsiders. The moment the Urandar's pride entered orbit around Terrell Prime, Jard sensed the tension. The first delegation arrived in sleek ships that reflected every color of the spectrum. Their leader, a being known as Chancellor Vierk, was tall, with 4 arms and a segmented exoskeleton. His eyes glowed with a deep red light, and his expression was sharp and calculating. "Humans," Vierk said, his voice vibrating slightly in the ship's communication system. "I have heard of your species' cleverness, but cleverness alone will not guarantee survival here. Your intentions must be proven." Jard stepped forward calmly. "We do not come to claim or conquer, we seek dialogue and cooperation. Every species here benefits if we work together." Alara added her voice, confident and poised. "And we are willing to demonstrate that cooperation through action, not words alone." Vierk's segmented fingers tapped against his forearm in thought. "We shall see. Actions, you say." Before Jard could respond, alarms blared. Sensors detected multiple vessels approaching at high speed. These were not diplomats. They were raiders, likely mercenaries hired to disrupt the delicate balance of negotiations. "Get us to defensive position," Jard ordered, activating the ship's shields. "But don't attack unless absolutely necessary. Observe and adapt." The ships closed in, firing non-lethal energy pulses designed to disable systems. Jard's fingers danced over the controls, redirecting power to shields, boosting maneuverability, and using predictive algorithms to avoid incoming attacks. "Humans are strange," Alara said quietly. "You do not panic, you think instead." "That's how we survive," Jard replied. "Panic is a luxury we cannot afford. Observation and adaptation are our strengths." Jard devised a plan to neutralize the raiders without harming them. Using the ship's sensors, he identified weak points in their energy fields. Then he projected a series of electromagnetic pulses to temporarily disable their engines. One by one, the raiders drifted helplessly, unable to continue their assault. Vyark's eyes widened in surprise as he observed the strategy. "Interesting, your species uses intelligence over brute force. Force can be a last resort," Jard said, "but understanding and strategy often succeed where force fails." After the situation stabilized, the delegation from Terrell welcomed them to the Planetary Council. Jard and Alara presented proposals for trade, resource sharing, and technological cooperation. They showed how human engineering could improve energy distribution, repair damaged infrastructure, and increase efficiency in mining operations. Alara, inspired by Jard's methods, contributed insights from Lithurian diplomacy, combining human innovation with her cultural knowledge. Together, they impressed the Council, demonstrating the potential of a human-Lithurian alliance. However, the mission was not without its challenges. In the middle of the Council meeting, a faction opposed to outsiders attempted to sabotage negotiations by spreading false information. They claimed that humans were planning to dominate Terrell's resources and that Lithurians were secretly working against local interests. Jard acted quickly, presenting evidence of the faction's deception. He used data from the ship's sensors, communications logs, and historical records to expose the plot. The Council was convinced, and the opposing faction was held accountable. Alara watched with admiration. "Humans are relentless when it comes to truth and fairness," she said. "They have to be," Jard replied. "If we relied only on strength or fear, we would not survive in a galaxy full of cunning species. Truth, strategy, and courage, those are our tools." The Council finally agreed to a formal alliance with Earth and Lithuria, establishing trade agreements and cooperative ventures. Jard and Alara had successfully turned a potential conflict into a lasting partnership. That night aboard the Urandar's Pride, the two stood once more on the observation deck, looking out at the stars. "Do you think all alien factions are like this?" Alara asked. "Some seem cautious, some suspicious, but I wonder if all will respond to humans in this way." "Not all," Jard said honestly, "but humans have a habit of surprising others. We adapt, we learn, and we find ways to turn challenges into advantages. Sometimes that's all it takes to earn trust." Alara smiled faintly. "I see now why my mother entrusted me to you. You do not simply follow orders, you think, you act, and you guide." "And you," Jard said, "have the intelligence to learn quickly. Together we're stronger than we are alone." As the ship left Terrell behind, both felt a sense of accomplishment, but also the awareness that greater challenges awaited. The galaxy was vast, and not every system would be as cooperative as Terrell. In the quiet of the observation deck, Jard and Alara realized that their partnership had already begun to grow. The princess was learning human adaptability, and Jard was gaining a deeper understanding of Lithurian diplomacy. Together, they were more than diplomat and charge. They were allies capable of shaping the future of two worlds. The stars outside promised new adventures, new dangers, and new lessons. And Jard Kale knew, as he always had, that humanity's courage and ingenuity would shine even in the darkest reaches of space. The Urandar's Pride sailed deeper into the unknown reaches of space, the endless black dotted with distant stars. Jard Kale and Princess Alara had left Terrell behind, confident in their alliances and their growing partnership. But even as they celebrated, a shadow loomed, a threat not from pirates or alien factions, but from within the Urandari Dominion itself. It began subtly. Supplies that had been carefully checked were found slightly altered. Messages were intercepted or delayed. Some crew members seemed hesitant, as though hiding knowledge. Jard noticed the signs immediately. Humans had a talent for noticing patterns, for detecting irregularities that others overlooked, and this felt wrong. "Alara," he said quietly, "I think someone on the Dominion side may be working against us. Someone wants this mission to fail." The princess frowned. "Betrayal." "But why? Power, influence, fear," Jard replied. "Some don't want humans to rise, and some don't want Lithuria to succeed. They may see our success as a threat to their position." Jard set to work quietly, gathering evidence. He reviewed communications, examined logs, and tested crew responses to seemingly minor anomalies. Piece by piece, the truth became clear. A high-ranking advisor in the Dominion had been manipulating events, creating obstacles and spreading false information to destabilize the mission. When Jard confronted the advisor, the betrayal became obvious. "Humans are clever," the advisor sneered, "but the galaxy does not belong to you. Lithuria's future will be shaped by those who understand power, not kindness." Jard remained calm. "Power without wisdom is meaningless. If your goal is to cause chaos, it will backfire. Humans find solutions where others only see obstacles." The advisor attempted to trigger a system failure, but Jard anticipated it. Using quick calculations and human ingenuity, he redirected energy flows, secured vital systems, and protected the ship and its crew. Alara watched, amazed, as Jard transformed a dangerous situation into a display of skill and resilience. The betrayal escalated when the advisor sent a message to alien factions, falsely claiming that humans and Lithurians were preparing a secret invasion. It was a move designed to ignite conflict. Jard acted swiftly. He decoded the message, traced its source, and presented the truth to both Lithurian and alien leaders. Using evidence, logical reasoning, and transparency, he turned the tables. The conspirators were exposed, and the factions recognized the value of human judgment and Lithurian diplomacy. Alara, standing beside him, whispered, "Your courage, your thinking, it saved everything." Jard smiled faintly. "Humans have to be clever. We survive because we don't panic, because we find solutions when others see only problems." With the conspiracy thwarted, alliances strengthened. Leaders across the galaxy began to see humanity not as newcomers, but as a force capable of strategy, courage, and loyalty. Jard and Alara had turned potential disaster into triumph, proving that intelligence and integrity could overcome even the most dangerous plots. As they traveled toward the next system, Alara reflected on what she had learned. "Humans are unpredictable but reliable in ways that matter most. I see why my mother trusted you with me. And I will continue to protect and guide you," Jard said. "But remember, it's not just protection. It's learning together, understanding each other, and facing challenges as partners." The stars stretched endlessly before them, promising more adventures, political intrigue, and dangers to overcome. But Jard knew one thing for certain. Humanity's courage, adaptability, and wisdom would shine in every test, proving that even a small species from a distant planet could make a difference in the galaxy. The journey continued, with the human and the princess growing stronger together, ready to face whatever the universe placed in their path. The Urandar's pride sailed through the vast expanse of space, leaving the dangers of Terrell and the earlier conspiracies behind. Jard Kale stood on the observation deck, his eyes fixed on distant stars that seemed to stretch forever. Every jump, every challenge, every alliance had brought them closer to proving humanity's place in the galaxy. Princess Alara stood beside him, her expression thoughtful. She had grown in ways she could never have imagined, no longer just the sheltered princess of Lithuria, but a leader who understood courage, strategy, and the value of trust. "Captain Kale," she said quietly, "do you think my mother will be proud?" Jard smiled. "She already is. And so will the galaxy, once they understand what we've accomplished." Their current destination was the system of Arvath, a neutral ground for a council of leaders from across several star clusters. The council had been skeptical of humans at first. Some questioned whether a species from a small blue planet could make a meaningful difference in interstellar affairs. Jard and Alara had spent months proving them wrong, but the final test awaited. As the starship entered Arvath's orbit, alarms signaled multiple approaching vessels, this time not pirates or conspirators, but representatives of the council itself. Their ships were large and imposing, yet unarmed, signaling diplomacy rather than aggression. The council's leader, A towering being named High Chancellor Valera greeted them aboard the Central Council station. Her presence was commanding, her voice a deep resonance that seemed to echo through the halls. "Humans," she said, eyes studying Jard closely, "you have traveled far and faced many trials. But tell us, why should we trust your species to influence the future of these systems?" Jard stepped forward, confident yet respectful. "Because humans do not rely on force alone. We observe, adapt, and find solutions where others see only obstacles. Our ingenuity, courage, and honesty have allowed us to survive and thrive. And now we wish to use those qualities not for conquest, but for collaboration." Alara added, her voice strong and composed. "And we together seek to create a galaxy where multiple species can benefit from shared knowledge and cooperation. Trust is earned, and we hope our actions have demonstrated that humans are worthy." Valara's gaze lingered on them, measuring sincerity, intelligence, and courage. For a long moment there was silence. Then she nodded slowly. "Very well, your actions speak louder than words. The Council acknowledges the efforts of humans and Lithurians to promote peace and cooperation. Let it be recorded that your species has proven itself capable of contributing meaningfully to interstellar affairs." Jard allowed himself a small smile. This recognition was monumental, not just for him, but for all of humanity. But the Council meeting was not without tension. As discussions progressed, a rogue faction attempted to disrupt proceedings, claiming that humans could not be trusted and that Lithurians were manipulating the situation for their own gain. The chamber erupted into chaos. Jard acted immediately. Using data collected from their journey, he presented evidence of the rogue faction's deceit. He traced communications, intercepted false claims, and demonstrated the careful planning and transparency humans had maintained throughout every mission. Alara supported him, her calm logic and strategic thinking complementing Jard's ingenuity. Together, they de-escalated the situation, earning the respect of the council members and quelling the dissenters. High Chancellor Valera addressed the chamber. "This demonstrates a valuable lesson. Intelligence, courage, and integrity can overcome fear and deception. The humans' actions have proven the value of their presence." Jard's eyes met Alara's, and a silent acknowledgement passed between them. They had faced the galaxy's challenges and emerged victorious, not through brute force, but through the human qualities that set them apart. After the council meeting concluded, the Queen of Lithuria, who had traveled to witness the outcome, met with Jard and Alara aboard the Urandar's Pride. "You have exceeded my expectations," Queen Seraphine said, her violet eyes shining with pride. "Not only have you protected my daughter, but you have also demonstrated humanity's potential. You have earned the trust of the galaxy." Alara smiled, standing beside Jard. "Mother, Jard has taught me more than I could have imagined. Courage, quick thinking, and loyalty, qualities humans possess naturally, have changed my perspective on leadership and trust." The Queen turned to Jard. "And you, human, have honored the responsibility I entrusted to you. You did more than care for my daughter. You guided her, protected her, and ensured our mission succeeded. For this, you have my deepest gratitude." Jard bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty, it was an honor. Humanity has learned much from this journey as well. We have seen that cooperation, courage, and understanding can bridge even the widest gaps between worlds." The Queen nodded. "Indeed, and this is only the beginning. The galaxy has taken note of humans. Your species is small, but your impact is growing. Never underestimate what you can accomplish when you work with wisdom, courage, and integrity." Later, as the Urandar's Pride prepared to depart Arvath, Jard and Alara stood together on the observation deck, looking out at the endless stars. "Do you think humanity will continue to impress the galaxy?" Alara asked softly. "I know it will," Jard replied. "Humans have a habit of rising to challenges. We learn, adapt, and overcome, and as long as we do, we will make a difference wherever we go." Alara nodded. "Then I will continue to carry these lessons forward. I will be a leader who values courage, ingenuity, and loyalty, qualities I have learned from you and your people." The stars shimmered ahead, each one a promise of new worlds, new challenges, and new opportunities. Jard felt a surge of hope and determination. Humanity had proven its value, but the galaxy was vast, and there were still countless mysteries to explore. As the starship sailed deeper into space, both knew that this journey was only the beginning. The adventures they had shared, the challenges they had overcome, and the alliances they had built would echo across systems, setting the stage for humanity's rise as a respected force in the galaxy. And in that moment, Jard realized something important. Courage and ingenuity, combined with loyalty and integrity, were not just human traits, they were universal keys to survival and success. Princess Alara turned to him one last time, her eyes reflecting the stars. "Thank you, Jard, for everything, for teaching me, protecting me, and showing me the strength that comes from understanding and courage," Jard smiled. "And thank you, Alara, for trusting a human to guide you, for learning from our differences, and for proving that together, we can accomplish more than either species could alone." The twin suns of Lithuria appeared faintly on the horizon, a reminder of home, of beginnings, and of the enduring bond between Earth and Lithuria. They had faced danger, political intrigue, and betrayal, and they had emerged stronger, wiser, and ready for the challenges that lay ahead. The stars stretched endlessly, a canvas of infinite possibility. Humanity had shown the galaxy its courage and ingenuity, and the legacy of Jard Kale and Princess Alara would be remembered for generations. As the Urandar's pride continued its voyage, carrying humans, Lithurians, and hope for a cooperative future among the stars, one truth became clear. No matter how vast the universe, intelligence, courage, and integrity could light the way. And humanity, small but resilient, had found its place among the stars.